Welcome back to After the Bell. This is our final segment. I am your host, Flipsyde.
And I'm Tim, the man of a million minds.
Okay, now, like we said when we left off, we're going to get right into the tag team match between AJ Styles and Sting versus Jeff Hardy and Jeff Jarrett.
Right. Like I said, I believe it was a pretty good match because it was a false count anywhere match, so they could go rampart anywhere in the ring. And within the match, you can see that the feud between Jeff Jarrett and Sting is going to pick up. The feud between AJ Styles and Jeff Hardy might pick up. Right. So
and of course, the way they ended it, where they had Sting and Sting go to the back, then Jeff Jarrett followed him into the back and went them up back there. So that let you know that they were just doing it just to extend the feud out.
Right.
So therefore, the winners, of course, Sting
and Styles.
Right.
So, I mean, like I said, that basically this is going to lead up to more matches between the four guys.
Right, exactly. Singles matches.
Right.
Okay.
And then we had Pope De Niro. He comes out with his arm in a sling, wearing an eye patch. And then we had Anderson, coming out and kind of, trying to pick up a
trying to start a new feud. Pretty much, the Pope got the short end of the stick because he didn't even get a rematch for the title or anything. He just lost, and that's it.
Which is kind of weird because when the Pope, when you do get a rematch or whatever, usually they act on it pretty quickly.
Right. So I mean, what the good thing about that I saw was that he actually did bring up that he wants a rematch.
Right.
So he did bring it up in the promo. So that was a good thing that he didn't totally forget, like he was just fighting for the belt.
Right. With Ken Anderson coming out, when Ken Anderson joined TNA, I was really excited because I'm a big fan of his. Right. But I do think, in effect, they're kind of like drawing him down a little bit because he is, I think he's a great talker, but the last couple of weeks he hasn't been talking that great.
Right, exactly. And to me, it seems as if they're realizing that, he may just be all talk.
Right, he might be all talk.
That's what they're starting to like realize, because I think that's what happened in the WWE. Because what else can explain you giving this guy a movie, a WWE movie, and then not even fighting to keep him?
Right. It's kind of weird, but it happens out that way. And Anderson ends up attacking the Pope, injuring his eye, trying to take his eye out more. Security comes in and breaks it up. And then it leads into the next match, which is the TNA Tag Team Champion, Matt Morgan, and Jesse Neal, which is kind of set up against Team 3D because he went back there and talked to Team 3D, telling them, is it okay with you if I go ahead and fight against y'all tonight?
But what they're doing with the tag team titles over there is a travesty.
Same thing with WWE.
No, WWE is actually on the up because of what they just did.
Right.
But what these guys are doing with the tag team title is a travesty. Okay, Matt Morgan, you are not a blueprint. I'm going to come out and say it. It's not bashing, it's reality.
Right.
You're just not over. Period.
Right. I think at one point before Hogan and Bischoff did come to TNA, they was pushing Matt Morgan. Right. Like you pointed out last week, Matt Morgan was coming up. But they noticed when Bischoff and Hogan came in, Matt Morgan's not that great of a...
Exactly. This is just a point of a company sitting back and watching to see what you're going to do and seeing their dollars just wasted. Like, what? We wasted all this money on this guy.
Right. And then when Morgan did try to leave and Hogan said, hey, either because Jesse Neal, after the match, Jesse Neal wanted, to fight Morgan because what Morgan did to him. Mm-hmm. But when Hogan said, hey, either you fight me or you fight Neal,
Right. And tell me why. See, this is how you know that the guy is just there just to have some TV time.
But then next we have the Best versus Ric Flair, ring versus ring.
Ring versus ring.
And like YouTube,
you guys pointed it out.
Y'all pointed it out. Hogan gave him the ring. So now they're doing this whole mockery of the Hall of Fame ring now. Which is, I actually think it's a travesty because why are you going to make a mockery of what Ric Flair and Hogan has done in their past to give them
40 years
the Hall of Fame? So basically you're saying, what? Forget everything we've done in the past. We're going to say, that's nothing. Let's just play with these rings.
And I mean, it's just ridiculous, Of course, within record time, Ric Flair is bleeding off top.
Ric Flair, dude, you are becoming a guy that is throwing away your career. You're becoming a bleeder that's bleeding all the time. That's old 70s style wrestling. That's 70s style wrestling.
I mean, he's coming out there with a bandage on where okay, he's going to bleed.
Right, and then he takes it off, and then so when he fights, I mean, come on, we don't need blood in wrestling just to bring blood.
Just to bring blood.
You're just bringing blood to bring it. Now, in Extreme Rules match, you might have a blood or something like that, but just to bring blood.
And like I said, the match was a total sham. You know, of course, Ric Flair got the early pin, and then the referee started the match, and then it turns around. Of course, Abyss does the whole hawking up thing, which is ridiculous. He's out of there. He's not Hall of Fame material either.
You know, I think eventually Abyss will turn on Hogan. That's my opinion.
Of course, that's gonna happen, or either Hogan's gonna turn on. Part one, it might even start next week because Hogan said at the end of the match after Abyss won. I mean, not to skip out on results. Abyss actually won the match. He hawked up on him and did the black hole slam on him for the pin. But the thing about it is that Hogan comes out after that. And they forced the ring off of Ric Flair. They forced the ring off of him. Then Hogan turns out, of course, to lead up to next week. I know exactly who I'm going to get a ring to. They never showed Abyss's face, but of course he's looking crazy because the whole time he's thinking he's going to have 2 rings. Because that's what he's saying during the whole match. I'm going to have 2 rings and all this old stuff like that. So apparently, and I'm thinking he might give it to Jay Lethal.
Well, yeah, because
for the Mega Powers.
Yeah.
So I mean, but we're gonna have to tune in for next week to see what he actually does with the ring because he's gonna give it to somebody. I doubt that it's gonna be Abyss. Like you pointed out, it might be that heel turn that Abyss needs. He needs to take that red and yellow garbage off because it looks just ridiculous when he's hawking up.
Before we end the show, what do you think of the ranking system, YouTube? Eric Bischoff's new ranking system. What do you think of it? Let us know. But before we leave,
do you think it's going to be a sham? Do you think it's going to be fake? Do you actually think that your vote is going to count, or what?
Let me tell you what I think. I think no, your vote will not count whatsoever. They will not let you, just similar to the WWE style of the Cyber match where you
Cyber Sunday that they got rid of.
Yeah,
you guys work day in and day out. They cannot just jump into the ring with Joe Blow, and say, okay, you're having a title match with such and such. And let him lead the match, whatever. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to do that. But what they are going to do is lead you to believe that they're going to do that so you can go to their website. They might need new website hits. I mean, probably as soon as you click on the website, it's saying buy merchandise right here or whatever. I mean, it all comes down to money, you know?
In 1990s, the early 90s, WCW did something on Saturdays when they used to have wrestling on Saturdays. You know, before they ever got to Mondays. I mean, way in the day before Monday Night Raw or anything. They let you pick. You call the 1-800 number. Who would you want people to fight? For example,
1-900 number.
Well, yeah, 1-900. I'm sorry. For example, who would you like Sting to fight? Would it be Lex Luger? Who do you want Ric Flair to fight for the title? Would it be Sting, Ric Flair, Steamboat? You know, all these guys.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, guys, think about it. They have to know what's going on. They're not going to throw a guy in there.
Because he just in case somebody gets like an American Idol moment and wants to vote a bottom feeding type guy to the top of the car, they're not going to let that happen. So therefore, it's truly not you controlling the situation as they lead you to believe when you watch the TV show.
So I wish he would have come up with another ranking system.
Right. Let us come up with the ranking system, and it'll just be like a blank piece of paper. Put the name on it, who you want, and we're gonna put out all the names by the person who voted for them.
Right. I mean, let's show proof.
You got the bandwidth for it.
Yeah, let's show proof who's voting for these people. You know what? Starting next week, next Wednesday, we're going to have our own voting system here on YouTube.wrestling.
After the Bell Wrestling,
you know,
YouTube.
I'm so frustrated because I don't want you to believe that you have a chance of voting. I mean, they want you to vote
for the guy that they pick.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't know. Yeah. We'll talk more about it next week. And, also next week we have Raw. We're going to find out all the drafts. We're going to find out the whole complete draft lineup. We got TNA next week. Who's Hogan going to give the ring to? Like he said, it's probably...
I'm thinking Jay Lethal, but I've been wrong before.
Right, Again, I'm glad you came.
We really appreciate you guys checking us out. This is week 2.
Week 2. Don't forget to subscribe. Tell all your friends about us. If you subscribe... If we get the video footage done by Tuesday, guess what? Everybody subscribes, gets a link to the video, can check it out a day before everybody else. How about that?
Bingo. Something new, something to look forward to. We appreciate you guys coming to check us out. We are your hosts. I am Flipsyde.
And I am Tim, the man of a million minds. And until next week, this is After the Bell.
Welcome back to After the Bell. We are your hosts. I am Tim.
He is Tim, and I am Flipsyde. Today we're doing Flipperoo. Get back at us next week.
Oh man, we had that one.
Yeah, man. That's gonna be a good one for that shirt DVD that we sell.
Oh man, that's crazy. We really have Flipsyde.